What if we told you you can see the most beautiful places in Vietnam in just 10 days?
With a comfortable itinerary that does not include the infamous sleeper buses and makes the most of your time in the country.
That's exactly what we're going to share with you, and we're also going to tell you how we managed to fit an amazing trip to Ha Long Bay for just $35. Hi, my name is Nas.
And I'm Alba, and this year we spent close to a month in Vietnam. We liked it so much that I actually went back, and that's what's allowed us to put together the perfect plan for you guys.
So let's get started. Day number 1.
You're obviously going to arrive in Vietnam. We recommend that you fly into Hanoi because Hanoi has so much to do and it's such a beautiful first stop for your trip.
Honestly, Hanoi was way above my expectations as soon as I got there. There's so much to do and we're gonna get into it.
But obviously this is your first day, so you're gonna wanna get settled in, walk around the beautiful streets of Hanoi, maybe try that famous pho, and get ready for your exploring day in day 2.
Day 2 is going to be spent in Hanoi. There is so much to see. You will want to see the train track. You will want to go to the main park, go through the old town.
We actually recommend 2 full days, so you'll be spending day 2 and day 3 in Hanoi because there's so many sites that you're gonna wanna go see and they take a couple hours, so you won't have time to see everything in just one day. While you're in Hanoi, don't forget to try one of the delicious banh mi sandwiches in Banh Mi 25 and the incredible coffees that the city of Hanoi has to offer. If you want to learn more about what are the actual things to do in Hanoi, we made a full video, so make sure to check that out, and we'll leave the link in the description to our blog as well.
Now day 4 has arrived, and this is typically the time where people go to see the famous Ha Long Bay. But we have a tip for you. Try to go to Cat Ba Island instead. It is a beautiful island with beautiful views. We made a full video about how we saw Ha Long Bay from here, and it's much more affordable as well.
What you're going to do is, while you're in Hanoi, you're gonna book your trip to Cat Ba Island. That's gonna take you about 3 hours, but the transfers normally don't leave really early, so you're gonna get there in the afternoon and you will have a couple of hours to walk around Cat Ba and see the magnificent views, because guys, this is so underrated.
You also have time to book the tour for the day after, which is to see Ha Long Bay. In reality, it's Lan Ha Bay, but they are stuck. Both of the bays are stuck together, so it's essentially the same.
And most tours do take you to the border of Ha Long Bay. The thing is, you won't be able to even tell the difference, but you will be visiting both essentially when you do the tour. And that's gonna be day 5. It's gonna be a full day on the boat, seeing Lan Ha Bay and Ha Long Bay, and it's so, so gorgeous. And if you do it this way, you're gonna save a lot of money.
Wow, you do so well, Alba.
Honestly, we made a video about this and it completely blew up. So many people asking us where to buy the tickets. Well, we found it with
Cat Ba Express.
Cat Ba Express. They were so nice to us. This is not sponsored at all. They don't even know we're promoting them, but we're probably sending them so much business at this point. They were really nice to us. They charged us $35 per person to go on the boat, and that included food, that included pick up and drop off, and that included a tour guide who was so nice to us.
So apparently the monkeys are not friendly, and so you have to be a little bit careful. They can bite you.
Yeah.
And the tour guide is saying be careful, be careful. But yeah, I mean, interesting.
On day 6, it's finally time to leave Cat Ba Island, and we recommend you to take a transfer that takes you all the way to Ninh Binh. That will take you roughly 3 hours, and as you know, it won't be right in the morning, so you will arrive in Ninh Binh in the afternoon, probably at about lunchtime, a little bit after that.
That gives you enough time To do maybe one activity of Ninh Binh, I recommend taking the little boats in the river and seeing the amazing views, and then that leaves you the next day to do plenty of other activities. You will want to climb these stairs that go all the way up, you'll want to walk through the rice fields and enjoy all the incredible landscapes that this area of Vietnam has to offer.
And that takes us to day 8. In day 8 in the morning, you will want to go back to Hanoi, but this time you won't be staying in the city. You'll catch a flight to go to Ho Chi Minh City, the most iconic city in the whole of Vietnam.
Obviously, you're gonna be quite tired from such a long day, so go to sleep early so that on the next day, day 9, you have enough energy and time to explore all Ho Chi Minh City.
This is a great city to visit because you can learn so much about the history of Vietnam right there. There is this museum in specific, I'll leave the name right here, that we definitely recommend you to go visit because it tells a lot about the history.
If you have time, we highly recommend that the day before you book your tour for the Ho Chi tunnels, because we actually had such a good experience learning about the history of the war and visiting the tunnels. It's honestly undescribable.
I'm gonna be great today.
Oh my god.
Definitely don't go in this direction. No. My knees are killing me. And we made a whole video about what that experience looked like, how much it cost, how to get there, how long it took, and everything, so you can see it right here, link in the description.
But obviously that takes us to the end of this trip, unfortunately, and that's day 10. Depending on what time your flight is, you're gonna want to head to the airport and fly back to your country. So this itinerary does mean that you fly into one airport and then you fly out of a different airport in Vietnam. That does make the flights a little bit more expensive, but it is worth it because it means you don't have to do a return trip just for the sake of it.
The good thing is that Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh are both international cities with international airports, so you should be fine. You should find flights. You can also, of course, wake up in day 10, spend a little bit of time and then go back to Hanoi, take a flight, because it doesn't take... How long is the flight?
Not long.
It's a fairly short flight.
It's actually 2 hours. Yeah,
it's a very short flight, so you can go from Ho Chi Minh back to Hanoi and then get your international flight back home.
If you've done any research on Vietnam, you will have noticed that we have missed out on a few popular spots in our itinerary. But this is for 2 reasons. 1, if you're only going for 10 days, you don't have time to see everything. And 2, we've made the itinerary the most comfortable that it can possibly be. For example, a lot of people like to visit Sapa, which is in the north of Vietnam, but that requires you to either spend a whole night on a bus or a whole day in it. And it's really difficult to get to. I've heard that it gets too crowded, too touristy, and that it may not be worth it.
Other people really like going to a place called Da Nang, which is kind of halfway through between Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh. It's in the middle of the country, but of course it really depends on how much time you have. Also, what is it that you're trying to get out of that trip?
If you have extra days and you can make your trip 13 or 14 days, we definitely recommend stopping over in Da Nang and potentially even traveling to Hoi An, which is a beautiful city. You could potentially also replace Ho Chi Minh City with Da Nang if you preferred to go see Hoi An and see the beach area of Da Nang. That's obviously completely up to you, but these are our recommendations. We think that this is the itinerary that gives you the most and gets you to see the most beautiful places in Vietnam. In the next video, we're gonna tell you all about the mistakes that we made when we visited Vietnam and how you can actually plan the perfect trip if you don't want to do this 10-day itinerary and you have more dates. We're gonna share all of that with you, so make sure to stay tuned.
We hope you like this video. We have a lot more content coming out about Vietnam in general because we love this country. So give it a like, subscribe, and we hope to see you
In our next video.